everybody, this is Sherry, and I just want to show you a quick treat holder that I made. Again, these will be for the fire department and the police department, and they've got more people there now than they had originally, so I really needed to come up with something that would be quick and easy to do that I could really quickly mass produce. So this is what I came up with. I got the idea from the lady's blog is called Chicken Scratch, and she did something like this, except I altered and changed her sizes because you had to fold up her bags, the little treat bags and stuff to go inside, and I didn't want to have to do that because I wanted them to lay really flat and look, different. And she tied ribbons around, and I don't have enough ribbon to do 75 like that, so I came up with this idea right here as a little closure. So I'm gonna tell you the dimensions, but it opens up like this, and then inside is the bag of M&Ms. And I borrowed a bag from my son from his Valentine's Day candy because I needed those to make sure that it would lay straight. And I made pink and blue and green and yellow, and so I got all different colors. And I'm gonna pull out my piece of paper. I've already cut it and scored it. It is 4 1/4 inches, so it's a half of a sheet of paper by 9 7/8 of an inch this long. And it's real simple to do. What you do is you take your scissors, and these are just my icky crappy scissors, but they're the ones with the longest blade, so I use those, and you take and you cut along the score lines, and you score on the length on both sides of the long way. You score at a 1/2 inch. And so we go up here to the top. We're going to cut that out, cut that again, and we're going to leave the center section right here. What you do is you take your piece of paper and you score it at a 1/2 inch here, a 1/2 inch here, then you put it in your paper or on your scoreboard, and you score it at 1 1/2 inches and at 5 3/4 inches right here. Now I've already cut, as you can see, I've cut the 2 pieces here. Now when I get to the center, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of snip it at an angle so that it leaves me just a little corner. It folds up a little nicer that way. And so I'm going to do that on both sides. And again, just the little corner, and you clip those off. So I got rid of those, and this is what it would look like. Now, what you do here is you fold on all your score lines, and I always reinforce my score lines because I like my things to lay nice and flat. And this is my 1 1/2 inch side here. Fold it down. And this is the longer side here, and we fold it up. Then you take your 2 1/2 inch round circle punch, and you just need a little piece taken off so that you can reach in to get your candies a little easier. And I centered it the best I could on both sides. And then I'm just going to snip. You see that little bit? That's all you snip off there. That's it. Just that little piece right there. So that's all done. And then you get your score tape. Now, like I said, I left my sides at half an inch is where I scored them at. So I can use my wider score tape. It works out. I just think it gives you, you can use smaller, and I have, but then I remembered that I had this, and I figured I would get a more secure hold if I use something just a little wider. And I'm having a heck of a time tearing that for some reason. Probably because I'm doing this on camera. And then you turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Bring it as close to the edge here as you can without going over, because you don't want to stick your box closed. And you don't want no sticky on the inside, or on the inside or the outside. I'll just cut that since I had trouble last time. And press them down real good. Then you just peel off the ends here. Peel off the tape. Oops, why am I stuck? Oh guys, ignore that sound. That's my daughter's dog. Crazy thing has a hot spot, and she took her medicine, but it just doesn't seem to be helping her anymore, and I don't know why. And then you just fold this up. And again, I just kind of go over it again, nice and tight. And if you see that you didn't cut it quite far enough on the when you cut the score lines off, just take your scissors and go along the edge like that. Not a biggie. And I just take my 1/2 inch corner rounder. I broke my corner chomper. We are memory keepers, so I picked up this at Tuesday morning one day, and it works really well. And again, it'll go through chipboard like the other stuff will, but I still miss my corner chomper. And you do that. So I just think it makes it look a little more professional if you round the corners. And then you just, what I took for this was I took my 1 3/4 inch circle punch and my 2 3/8 scallop circle punch. I used Daffodil Delight, thanks to Lisa from CD Light Eyes Tubing, and I'll put her link below. She gave me some Stampin' Up! Ink pads, so I used this for my yellow. I was going to use Wriggle Rose, and the girls had a fit because they didn't think that was manly enough or something to go to the firemen and the policemen, even though I think these are for Easter. And I used 2 different Stampin' Up! Sets. One is The Nicest Thing, and I use that little bunny right there. And the other one is Teeny Tiny Wishes, and I use the Happy Easter Sentiment. And I tried putting them on the block together, and it left too much space, and I couldn't, it made it too big, so I have to stamp them separately. And then they thought my daughter and her friend thought it looked better if I used the same color for the oval, or for the scallop circle, I mean. So I used it. I put 2 dimensionals here at the bottom to lift it up just a little bit. And you just pop it up a little bit and slide out your candy, which is exactly what I'm going to do with this one. I'll put my scallop circle there with the dimensionals down here, and my candy will slide in and out just like this. There you go. Piece of cake. I will try, I don't know how to edit my videos yet, guys, but I will put the dimensions in the description box below as far as the width and the length of the paper and the score marks, so that if you want to make them yourself, you can. So thanks for visiting me today, guys, and happy crafting. Whoops, there we go. Bye.